Hello, and thank you for joining the Champion Within podcast, your premier go-to spot for unlocking your winning mindset. Whether you're an athlete looking to elevate your game to the next level, a coach leading the charge, an enthusiastic parent cheering from the sidelines, or an educator molding young minds, the Champion Within podcast episodes are packed with value, sharing the tools and strategies to unlock your potential and rise to new heights. Hosted by mentor, coach, and mindset leader Kate McCauley. Let's sit back and enjoy today's episode while discovering your champion within. And now, here's Kate.
Hey coach, does any of this sound familiar? Your athletes are talented, but they lose focus when the pressure's on. Confidence swings up and down from game to game. Some play tight and second guess themselves. They struggle to reset after mistakes. Think about it. How many games or competitions have you lost, not because the other team was better, but because your athletes got in their own heads? Every coach has seen it. The missed free throw, the strikeout, the dropped pass, not from lack of skill, but from lack of mindset. That's why I created the Champion Within programs, to bring tools that will help unlock peak performance for your athletes. It's also why I lead team workshops on visualization, breath work, and mental skills training to take these conversations off the podcast and bring it to your team. I do this in person and virtually. Imagine your athletes learning how to bounce back faster, handle pressure with confidence, and step into the game mentally sharp and ready. That's the difference mindset training makes. If you're ready to give your team that edge, let's talk. Go down to the show notes after the show and set up a call to see how I can help your athletes win from the inside out. Welcome into season 6 of the Champion Within podcast. Season 6? How did we even get this far? I'm just figuring it out as I go. This season is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to give you real tools for success, but instead of just listing them out, explaining how to do it, I'm going to tell you some stories from clients, teams I've worked with, my own personal journey, and these stories are going to be things that you'll remember when life gets tough. I'm also in the process of interviewing some epic guests for this season. You are going to absolutely love them. Speedy Sunday is still here. Those are going to be just quick, little digestible things to get your week started. Here's the truth. I love a good positive quote and some inspiring words, but I'm telling you right now that success doesn't come from scrolling through Instagram and checking out those positive quotes or just a random quick pep talk. It comes from shifting your mindset, practicing the tools, even if it is that positive quote that you're practicing saying it, productive self-talk. And you need to be applying them when things aren't easy, which we know life is going to life. Today, we're starting off with one of my favorite topics, the comeback mindset. How do we bounce back when we fail? How do you keep going when it would just really be easier if we quit, decide I'm done with this? That's what we're talking about today. I'll never forget this moment as a basketball coach. We had just lost a team that we should have won by a lot. It wasn't even close either. The other team just out-hustled us. They out-focused, outplayed us. Of course, I had the post-game huddle chat where we talked about what we do next matters most. On the bus ride home, though, no one was talking. Heads were down, earbuds were in, and honestly, I felt the same way. I was frustrated, embarrassed, and if I'm being honest, doubting myself as a coach. Here's the truth. We've all been there. It doesn't matter if you're an athlete, a mom, business owner, or a student. You've hit those moments where you just think, this is it? I don't know if I can keep going. But then something happened. I walk into the gym for the next practice, and one of my players showed up early. She was on the court already before I got there, running sprints by herself. No coach told her to do this. No one was watching, but she was making a statement. We're not done yet. That single choice sparked something. Slowly, the energy shifted as the rest of the team arrived. That comeback started right there, whether or not she knew it or not. That moment really taught me something huge. The comeback mindset doesn't start with the win. It starts with the decision not to quit. It's not about pretending you didn't fail. It's about owning it, reframing it, and fueling yourself to move forward. That next play mentality. What you do next matters most. You've heard me say this before. I'm sorry to repeat it, but it's really true. Have you ever had a season in your life where you thought about walking away? A class you wanted to drop, maybe? A job you thought, I can't handle this. I'm just not good enough. Maybe a workout you didn't think you could finish. Those are the moments that shape you. And if you lean in, they can become fuel for your best work. Let me break down the exact tool I use with my athletes, my clients one-to-one and in workshops, and even myself when I hit setbacks. It's a simple 3-step framework. The first part is name it. Be real. Call it out. Say, I failed that test. We lost the game. I didn't get the job. Too often we sugarcoat or avoid it, but if you don't name it, you can't move past it. And stop, for the love of everything, going to people to vent who you know are not going to name it. They're going to sugarcoat it. Just stop. Stop that. If you catch yourself texting that person who you know will be like, oh my God, and agree with you, stop. This is your reminder. Stop. You got to name it or go to someone who will help you. Step number 2 in this process is reframe it. Ask yourself, what's the lesson here? Every failure, setback, whatever it is, has a lesson. Sometimes you need to dig a little bit deep. Did it expose a weakness in your preparation? Did it reveal something about your focus? Did it maybe show you where you need some support? Did it show you what you don't want to be like because of someone else's behavior? The third part is you need to fuel that. You'll often hear me if I'm at a sporting event saying, put some gasoline on it. You need to have this comeback gasoline moment. Here's the comeback part here. Turn that lesson into energy. Let's fuel it. So let's go back to my original story with my athlete who was running sprints as all of us came into the gym. She wasn't punishing herself. I never used movement as punishment, by the way. That's a little extra bonus for anyone who's a coach here. Stop using movement as punishment. I need to do a whole podcast on what shouldn't be punishment. Anyway, we'll come back to that another day. Let me get back to the point here. She wasn't running sprints as a punishment for herself or for the team as a whole. It was fuel. She wasn't saying we failed. What she was saying is, we're not staying there. This works in life too. You miss a workout, use it as fuel to hit the next 3. Maybe you messed up at work. Own it, name it, reframe it. Use the feedback to get sharper. Maybe you had an argument with your kid. Use the lesson to show up better tomorrow. This comeback mindset is about turning pain into progress. Let me give you a couple more examples. A college athlete who was in a workshop with me tore her ACL. Career ending, or so she thought. Instead of letting it define her, she named it, reframed it, and fueled it. She became one of the strongest leaders on the sideline and eventually turned that experience into a career in coaching. If you listen to 2 podcasts ago, this just popped into my brain with Tammy. This is good. This mentality keeps popping into my brain. Go back to episode 135 and listen to it. You'll hear the whole this is good vibe. Let me share another story with you. One of my one-to-one clients failed their first business launch. They were working with a partner. So it was actually 2 people. My client was just one of the co-partners. This was a total epic flop. Instead of walking away, they legit studied why it failed. That reframing gave them clarity. And then they went on to build a thriving business. Here's what you need to remember. Comebacks look different for everyone. Sometimes it's an athlete. Sometimes it's a parent. Sometimes it's just you sitting in the car after a hard day wondering, am I cut out for this? The answer is yes, you are. but only if you choose the comeback. I have a challenge for you this week. Think about your last setback. It could be big or small. I want you to write it down. Underneath that, write the lesson it taught you. Keep that lesson visible on your phone background, maybe a Post-it note, wherever you're going to see it. And every time you see it, let it fuel your comeback. As a matter of fact, you might even say, pour some gasoline on it, steal my line. Remember though, these setbacks, they don't define you. The comeback does. And this season, I'm going to be sharing more stories and tools just like this because that motivation, the inspiring quote, it fades, but the comeback mindset, it lasts. If this episode hit home for you, share it with a teammate, a friend, your kid. Let's spread this message. And if you tried the challenge this week, DM me on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, anywhere you follow me. I'd love to hear your comeback story. Thanks as always for listening and hanging out. I hope you have an amazing rest of your week.
Thank you for hanging out with Kate today. And whether you're going to coach, teach, cheer from the sidelines, or hitting the field yourself, remember, mindset is everything. Don't forget to follow the show for the latest episodes, as we all need a little extra motivation, humor, and sanity in our busy lives. Now, go and unleash your champion within you, one step at a time. We're always rooting for you.